Go, Patty.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Renee, this is Patty, and we're going to talk about vitrectomy, mostly during a cataract surgery when complications can arise. So, vitrectomies are usually rare, but they can happen, and what is usually is when they're performing the phaco, they can break through the posterior capsule and hit the vitreous, and then they have a vitreous leak. And you have to not have that happen. You have to get rid of those fragments, and in turn we do a vitrectomy. So let me start by what we do. The first thing you would do is we would either on the side of the machine here, we keep them. A lot of times it's hard to get in there, so in that top cabinet by Esther, there's called the Ultra Vit. There's only one type. We used to have one-handed and two-handed. We only have two-handed right now. So what you're going to do with the circulator is open this, give it to the scrub nurse, and then she's going to take her phaco INA off of the tubing and hook this up to it, as you can see. So you will have vitrectomy in one hand and then the irrigating in the other hand to go in two ports of the eye. As the circulator, we're going to hook the vitrectomy up, and it's pretty easy. You got black with black, silver with the gray. They're very finicky. You're going to try and do this and it's not going to go, and you're going to rush and it's still, but it will click and turn. Just take your time. That is key.
The circulator does this?
The circulator will do this, and it will fit,
Or
turn, and click.
Sculpt.
On the machine, we will be in either of the settings when any of this happens. It could be sculpt, quad, whenever. We'll say I need a vitrectomy. Open it up. While the scrub's doing their thing, we hook it up. We're going to go to the top under procedure. And every doctor has their own specific settings, but they all also have a vitrectomy. So you're going to hit the vitrectomy.
Procedure 7.
And then you're going to hear that noise, and that's normal.
Does the circulator do that, or do you do it with the?
It's easier for us to do it because
Okay.
they're fiddling around and,
Yeah.
and getting everything ready for the doctor. And then everything's pretty much connected, so we're just going to hit next, 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 X out, and then it automatically defaults to cut IA. And the doctor will let you know if he wants to stay in cut IA or IA cut. That's his preference. There's one physician that does not like this little tiny needle that goes on the one piece. And I can't say I blame him. It's Dr. Barrett, and he likes the handle to hold it. So I really don't want to open one of these for this, but this handle, as you can see, has the same curved tip as this little needle. You would just not use this, just discard it, whatever you want to do, and you would just put the orange handle on.
It fits on the end.
It fits on the end of it. It's kind of like this piece, but he has something to hold in his hand instead of this little tiny. It's very hard. He's the only one who uses it. Don't worry about the blue. Just discard it. We don't use that for anything at all.
And is that kept up with the other straight next to it?
It's right next to it. It says orange, and I usually have with it Dr. Barrett's orange handpiece.
Oh, okay.
So he knows. So while he's working away, most likely he's going to need a different lens. So instead of putting a posterior capsule lens in, which can fall behind the eye, and then you have all kinds of, you need a retina doctor involved, he's going to want an anterior chamber lens to put that anteriorly. So depending on his backup lens, it's most likely going to be the emerald and then the cartridge with it. So we'll give the scrub nurse this, and then this lovely little folding forceps that she needs to help load
Something like that.
the lens.
Some people need.
And where is that kept with the forceps?
Yeah, all
Separate?
that's kept up
Okay.
in there. So this isn't a
This is-
tray.
It's
It's
all
not a
separate.
tray, it's just all separate. But usually in the morning, the circulator will try and get stuff ready just in case
When you know
they
you're having
need
it.
it. Yeah,
I pull this out
Yeah.
every morning,
Will
just
it
in
ever,
case.
it'll happen when you're in the middle of the case?
in the middle of a case, yeah.
And
Yes.
is that MA something?
Yes.
Is it
Yes,
open?
the
Yeah,
MA,
yes, it
yeah.
will.
Yeah, it's that
And
MA
it's usually in the
lens.
back.
Okay.
That was
Yeah,
so
that'll be the backup.
Now, where will I find that quickly? On his sheet that's hanging?
Yes.
Well, Barrett doesn't put it on the sheet.
No, but it's in the order sheet where
yes,
you
I do.
check the lens. We're
Motion
checking
upstairs.
the normal lens.
That's why I had to go
It's
upstairs.
gonna be in there.
It's not for Barrett though.
But he'll
So
tell you.
he'll
when he
tell you the
wants-
size.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it
usually
not
half-
even in his chart?
No,
Not
it
the
is
one
not.
time it wasn't, and
Mhm.
Jackie
Oh,
had to
okay.
run upstairs.
I had to go upstairs.
Everyone
Okay.
else
Yeah.
writes
It wasn't
in
anywhere.
there, but
Okay.
he does not.
He does
But
not.
the NAs are kept in his.
All
room,
kept
yes.
back
Okay.
in the storage.
All right.
Also, things you want to get ready, which we usually do in the morning, is a suture set, which we have to open everything, but I am working on getting a suture set. And that involves needle driver, finesse scissor, Westcott scissor, and then the forceps. And then depending on what they use, either a 10-0 Vicryl or a 10-0 nylon, they'll let you know that. So that's kind of our little suture set. Other things they may also need is Myocol, because once you put that anterior lens in, you want to shrink that pupil so nothing happens, it can't come out of that area. So you want to get Myocol, which is in with the medications in the core, and it comes like this. And then you will just give them the Myocol, 3 cc syringe, and you'll give your scrub nurse an 18 gauge, and then they'll open all that, and they'll have that ready for the physician.
And the doctors are waiting patiently, right?
And they're
Absolutely.
waiting.
So,
Absolutely.
I have a question, since a lot is happening and it's a change and whatever, why don't we make like a vitrectomy bag? So everything's right together.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good idea. You can definitely do
I
that.
thought you had that already,
No.
no?
It's really
just like the two things. And
Yeah, because right now it's
And then
just,
if you have a
it's
suture
actually
set,
just
really.
gonna be this,
They not
we will
always
have a
put
suture
some of
set.
it's
We will
drugs.
have a suture set, and they don't
Okay.
always put that in.
They don't
And
always
then
put a suture.
Okay.
And that's not always, they don't
So,
always use
yeah,
that.
yeah. Sometimes they might ask for a little more, viscoelastic, do a visc in there, Provisc.
That's usually 100%.
Yeah.
In Myocol, 100% of the time.
Myocol almost 100% of the time, correct. Yeah. Okay, so.
And they don't always put a suture in.
They don't always put a suture in. Sometimes with all the handling in that incision, they have a hard time sealing it. It doesn't want to self-seal like it normally does. So if they keep having issues, then they'll say, you know, I want to put a suture in. So all you have to hear, I want to put a suture in, and we're going to open all that suture set stuff. And again, we're getting that all grouped together, so that's a
And
work in
sometimes when
progress.
they do vitrectomies, they don't even put a lens in case the nucleus fell to the back of the eye, then they have to go see a retina specialist.
Yeah.
But they should put a suture in, 'cause
And you may need extra wax cells sometimes, just because you're using a lot, so.
they,
we usually-
check the wound to see if any vitreous strands are there.
And they can tell because it's very stringy, so when they
It'll
put
pull
the
out.
wax cell, it'll pull.
So pull,
How-
cut,
And then
pull,
cut it.
cut,
Mhm.
pull, cut.
How would they know if it fell to the back?
Oh,
You can see
there'd
it.
be
You
a
can
big,
see?
Yeah.
big nucleus there,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it's
If you're
gone.
scrubbed,
I
you
can
can
see
see
it
it.
with the levo,
Mhm.
it just
Yeah.
looks like,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And they just
Mhm.
stop, and then they gotta go see a retina
Yeah, and
specialist.
then that's the end of the case. So, any questions? No?
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.